Hey guys, we're back.
We're back.
It's episode number 83, and we are right around the corner from my birthday.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't you didn't get an exorcism. You're
I,
still here.
yeah, I did it on purpose. Oh, yeah. I told her I was going to be here, but she forgot about me because I hid in the corner over there. No one's going to take the macho man from me. It's going to be with me for a long time.
Always rise to the top.
I always rise to the top there, GP. He Willie's my bitch, and I live inside his mind. We had a fun episode, guys.
Blast. I was so pumped about it. I'm still pumped right now. I
Yeah,
know.
we're both on a
I'm
high
hyped.
from it.
I'm hyped.
So we just recorded this episode with Patti Negri. You're going to hear it in a minute. We wanted to do a quick second intro, which you're going to hear another intro after this. It's like Interstellar. It's going to be confusing as how many intros there is. And then once you think it's over, there'll be another intro.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you click out to go listen to something else, you'll hear another intro that
Yep.
we did.
To somebody else's show. You never know.
Yeah, so this is a good episode. We like just touched the surface of what we're going to ask this lady and what we're going to talk about in the future when we have her back on, but I think there's a lot of really good stuff in this episode that a lot of people don't know about, and it will change their perspective of a lot of opinions on magic with a K.
Yes. With a K. There's a difference and you'll find out what it is.
You will find it out. So I want to read off this thing right here that this Patty sent me in her email. Is just pretty awesome. There's a lot of credit here. So I didn't want to read this in front of her because I would trip and fall and fumble.
Sorry. Just read it. You'll be all right. Just read it.
Just read it.
Just read it. You'll be all right.
Just
You got this.
we'll do it live.
Do it live.
All right. Our guest is best known for her reoccurring role in the Travel Channel's #1 show, Ghost Adventures. She is the international best-selling author of Old World Magic for the Modern World: Tips, Tricks, Techniques to Balance, Empower, and Create a Life You Love, which definitely sums up this lady.
It does.
It's a great title and a great subtitle for her book. Patty was voted #1 psychic, medium, trance medium, tarot reader, witch, magical practitioner in the world, and an internationally competition by Times Square Press. I don't know what any of that shit means, but it sounds very impressive.
I know. I can tell you don't know because you mispronounced tarot.
Did
That's
I?
okay.
How
That's
do
okay.
you say it?
Tarot,
Tarot?
not tarot.
I didn't say tarot.
Okay.
You can't prove that.
Keep going.
Dude,
Got him.
this is why I didn't do this in front of her. Patty's book of work includes appearances as such on such shows as MasterChef, America's Got Talent, Wipeout, and Jeff Lewis is Flipping Out. Patty has a popular weekly podcast called The Witching Hour, which I highly recommend that you guys go subscribe to because I'm going to do it as well. JP has already done it. He's better than me. And can also be heard on a nationally syndicated radio with Adam Carolla, Jason Ellis, Mancow Mueller, and Coast to Coast with George Norrie. She has graced numerous magazine covers, like myself, contributed to over 20 books, and conducted seances on radio, film, and TV, working with such legends as Emma Stone, never heard of her,
Hmm.
John Voight, that's Angelina Jolie's dad, in case you don't know, Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, and Emilio Estevez's dad, and Gregory Hines.
I've never seen everybody's dad, but you don't know who Emma Stone is.
I know who Emma Stone is. I was making a
You've
joke.
never heard of her.
I know
She
who she
sounds
is.
hot.
She's very unique looking. She kind of looks like a goldfish. Like picture Emma Stone and then picture her like at the right underneath the surface of the water, about to eat some flakes or something.
golden food.
Something about Emma Stone just reminds me of a fish, a little goldfish.
I can see it.
Seems like a cool chick though. Gregory Hines. Where do I know that name from?
Heinz ketchup?
No, come on, man.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Gregory Hines. Who the hell is that? That sounds so familiar. Is that the gay guy from Will and Grace? The real flamboyant guy?
I honestly don't know. I'm being serious, I have no idea.
Okay, well, fact check us, guys. Comment down below.
Fact check.
What'd you call it?
Fact check.
I took it a different way after what I just said.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, dude, you're gonna get us canceled, bro.
Fact check. Jesus.
Dude, tighten up, bro. Just because we have a podcast, you can't just say
God.
whatever you want. This is not the Peloton, bro. Save it for the Peloton. Speaking of the Peloton Patreon members, guys, thank you so much to all our Patreon members: Delinda, Paul Hudson, Eric with an A, Jacob Pellerin, Who else? Moral
Moral
Bob.
Bob.
Check out Moral Bob. What's his
Absolutely.
podcast? Hidden in Plain Sight. Go check it out.
I was just about to say that.
I took it out of your mouth in case you didn't. I didn't want to say like, "Hey, what's his podcast?" And you sit there and look at me like, "Oh shit, I forgot." And then we look like we don't know what his podcast is.
We know what it is.
We know what Moral Bob's podcast is. Hidden in Plain Sight.
Moral B.
Moral B. Go check it out. Yeah. So anyway, this episode's a lot of fun, guys. I think you will learn a lot, no matter how smart you are about Magick with a K. There's always new shit to learn.
Mhm.
And this lady's a very adorably entertaining, intellectual lady. So
super positive.
Yeah,
I
very
feel, I
positive.
feel so much better just talking to her. It was
yeah, who would have thunk it? We talked to a witch and we'd feel better about our lives.
right,
It's bizarre, dude.
It is.
She's an awesome lady, though. I'm happy to have her in our network of cool people. So enjoy the show, guys, and stick around because episode 84 is right around the corner. I was
Start.
born 1984,
Oh.
and it's my birthday's right around the corner. It falls perfectly. This is numerology at its finest. Some crazy shit's about to go down, guys, and I can't tell you what. But stay tuned. When does the episode start? Count it down, JP.
5, 4, 3, right now.
Whoa, whoop pack.
Welcome back to Truth or Theory, guys. This is episode 83. I'm your host, JP.
I'm your other host, E. Willie. And we're going to jump into cheers to good news. JP, you kick it off, buddy.
My cheers. I would like to cheers to all the guys out there sticking it to the man.
Whoa.
Taking their jobs, haven't got raises in years and years, and they're jumping ship. They're quitting. And they're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm over it. I'm tired of getting walked on. And a lot of guys are going to other companies that will pay and stuff
Really?
like that. And
You're seeing a lot of that right
turning. Now? Oh yeah, a lot.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Got my wheels turning. And
JP, what are you up to?
make me an offer.
I got a job for you, kid. So JP's got some stuff brewing in his head, huh? That's exciting, Bren. My cheers to good news is very Patreon related. On our last episode, I believe it was the last episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a mascot in our studio now, and it is a Mexican red knee tarantula. JP and I are both pretty scared of spiders, tarantulas, all that stuff. JP much so more than me, much more than I am. But we made a poll on the Patreon. If you guys all voted unanimously, JP would have to hold the tarantula in the next Patreon episode, which it looks like JP's gonna hold a tarantula.
It is unanimous. And guess what? I know a lot of you guys. So, Mom, not coming home for Christmas. Hope you're happy.
Yep, your mom literally reached out to me and asked if it was safe.
She did.
She was protecting her boy. But she even used her name too, because we named her Selena. She's like, "Is Selena safe?"
Oh,
Like, your boy's safe. He's gonna get bit, but it'll be safe. No, he won't bite you. She won't bite you, but if she does, it'll make for great content, and I'll laugh, and you'll probably fling the tarantula across the room and kill my damn spider. But it'll be funny. So this episode's releasing Thursday. Hopefully you're listening to it the day we released it. If you are, then tomorrow night, JP, tarantula, and his hand, they're all gonna become one. So if you're not already on the Patreon, go check it out. Patreon.com, Truth or Theory Podcast. $4 to sign up, and you will see all our bonus content and all our tomfoolery.
Yep.
And there's a lot of it and a lot more coming of it.
Get to know us on a personal level.
Yeah, that's the personal side. This is our professional side.
Very professional.
While I'm wearing this hat.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do a very, very different episode tonight. We have the legend on. And I'm going to do a better introduction, and we're going to put this in before this probably. So you've already heard me introduce her. So I'm just going to jump into it right now because you've already heard my long, beautiful introduction that I did and didn't stutter over my words at all. Patti, welcome to our podcast, episode 83. It's going to be a very cool one.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. I reached out to you, and you responded pretty quickly. I was really excited about that. I feel like you're an important person to have in our network of cool guests and people. So yeah, let's get started with who you are. what got you into being a good witch, and what is the difference between a good witch and a bad witch? Start there.
Of the east or the west? No, I was born this way. Actually, I both of the psychic medium side. I've been talking to dead people since I was 3 or 4. I actually thought everybody could talk to, almost cliche, the spirits in the closet and under the, but they were real, and I knew they were real. They weren't imaginary friends little kids have. On the witchy side of things, same thing. I'd be in my little suburban backyard, knowing if I picked all the rosemary thing off the rosemary bush and the mint in my mom's garden and stuffed it in her wallet, it would bring her more money. My mom didn't quite get that. Filling dirt and bushes in her purse. But years later, when I'm studying apothecary and herbs and plants, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what they do. So it's just in the blood. It's just born this way, and it was never taught out of me. We didn't have any big like, oh, this is bad, evil, weird stuff, religious beliefs. My mom was always like, oh yeah, grandma could do that too. So
Wow.
it was
cool. So it's in
and
your
I literally,
it's in your blood, huh? In your genes.
it's in my blood. It was in my blood. So, and I was always kind of obsessed with the dead and the other side, and not in a morbid or dark way. There were spirits, good spirits and bad spirits, but I wanted to have a seance. I didn't even know what a seance was, but I literally did my first one. I was 7 or 8 years old. Again, my suburban hallway where there was no windows and no light, and I stuffed towels under the doors. And then I realized I didn't know anybody dead. So I was 7. So I'm like Marilyn Monroe and John Kennedy, anybody, this was literally late 60s, anybody that a 7-year-old would know. And then I came up with my first chant in this windowless, lightless hall filled with orbs and lights and shadows flying through the room. And as I ran out screaming, I'm also jumping up and down going, yes, this is real, and we have control over this other world. I just had this knowledge. I knew this was our world and we had control here, but that we could invite in that other world. So in the blood.
Wow, you're very brave, I gotta say that. I don't mess with none of that stuff. I'm can't do it.
Yeah.
So you said your grandmother had it. Did your mom not have it? Does it skip a generation?
Well, I think my mom completely had it. She just never focused on it.
Okay.
My mom was probably one of the most intuitive words that we use, like that. Intuitive. She would, kind of just knew things, but she didn't ever sit. Well, actually, she did. My big brother, I have an older brother. I was little then too. And he was in Vietnam. And 2 times, my mom sat up in her bed, and she heard this flutter, 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 flutter. Those 2 times, my brother had caught on fire.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's in the blood. Yeah.
Wow.
She just never sit around and have, dead people at the end of her bed saying who's going to die the next day or anything like that.
Oh,
Have you looked into your ancestry and like seeing where your origins are from? Like, is it connected to something?
I try and I do that ancestry thing, and I swear, because as they get information about it, it changes all the time. On my mom's side, I have this very English, Irish, which would make sense, that whole Celtic and that world of things.
Yeah.
And on my dad's side, he came from Turkey and Spain. So I have that whole Mediterranean Sephardic side. So I think I would get it actually both sides. And my grandfather on my dad's side was this big, famous philosopher, psychoanalyst, psychologist, hung out with a Hollywood set, very academic, not spiritual or religious in any ways. He thought he was practically evangelical atheist. He thought anything woo-woo or spiritual was a weakness. But I read it, and he wrote books on religion and spirituality and sex and all this stuff. But I read his books now, and it's like, oh, Grandpa, you sort of believe the same thing I do. You just use completely different words. Whether you use Christian words, Judeo-Christian words, whether you use Buddhist words, whether you use New Age words or old pagan words or science words. If you look at the through line of energy, which is what I see, energy, there's the through line of truth in all of them, whatever names you put on it.
Wow, that's really interesting.
See, I'm a believer in the energy side of it. Like, I believe, what you put into the universe is what you're going to get back. And
exactly, cause and effect, action or reaction, karma.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
So when you were a
Me
kid,
too.
when you started experiencing this stuff, were you scared, or was it like just intriguing to you?
It was intriguing. It was I was actually a quiet kid. Oh, what you said, what you put in, good witch, bad witch, what's the difference? A good witch, I only work in the light and I only do good and positive things. I don't like white witch and black witch, but you do have to have a sense of integrity. You do have to have a high moral code because of that cause and effect, action and reaction. Here's the difference of a good witch and a bad witch, or what magic. I don't want to say good or bad, but doing good or bad magic. Say the water runs down the mountain to the village, and the village is happy and the village is great because they thrive because they get water on the mountain. Build a house on the mountain, but down a ways. You don't have any water. You need that water. To do a spell, to do a witchcraft would be, I'm building a dam and some pipes and I'm taking the water. To do bad magic or black magic, you take all the water and then the village wouldn't get any and they'd all die, or else they'd come up and kill you. There's karma. But if you build a little dam and you take all the pipes, and you could take all you want, so long as there's enough for the village and they get to have everything that they need, that's good magic. So you get what you want, you get what you need, you have not affected them. And if you know the difference in that, which I think most people do, then you could work in integrity, you can work in the light, and you can work out any bad karma or cause and effect of actually taking the sales and creating the life that you want.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that really is cool.
That
That makes sense.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Have you ever dabbled on the dark side?
No, I will walk into the dark. I've never worked in the dark side because, again, I've studied this my entire life. I study religion, philosophy, science, occult science, metaphysics. And again, but since I was a kid, I just knew this was our world. And the world, whether it's a sin or good or bad, the world you create is the world you live in. Just like you said, with the karma, cause and effect. If I would send out hexes and curses to people, I live in a world where hexes and curses exist, and now I can be hexed and cursed or controlled. Like I can control Fred over there. Now I can be controlled because that's the world we create. And in my experience, I've gotten pretty much everything I've ever wanted by doing positive magic, and you can. Again, you get all the water you want for your house on the hill. My hobby became doing things like Master Chef when I can't cook, or America's Got Talent, or Wipeout, going, I'm going to do this thing that I have absolutely no business, no talent, no ability to do. And I'm going to have to beat 100,000 people to do it. And I'm only going to do it using good magic. I did it for the first time with that TV show Wipeout, the world's biggest obstacle course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I beat almost 100,000 people to get on that. I did the big balls. Scary, hardest, most painful thing I've ever done,
Awesome.
but most empowering. And I took everything I had to not go run screaming once you saw that course and like, what am I doing? I'm afraid of heights. Oh, I forgot, but I did it. I did it. And again, empowering. And so then I did that and I go, okay, I've done the physical. That was good. What I really don't do well, I'll cook. I don't get cooked. I got kicked out of home ec. My husband won't let me in the kitchen. I'm going to cook for Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to get on Master Chef. So I started auditioning for Master Chef 6 months later. And every time I'm going, they are going to so figure out, I do not know even what saute means. But 6 months later, I am in the Master Chef kitchen and I am cooking for Gordon Ramsay and Joe Bastianich. And then I did the same thing with America's. I go, okay, I have no talent for anything you would do on America's Got Talent. I was a dancer, but not that kind of singer or dancer. So again, next thing I know, I am rolling around on the floor with Howie Mandel at the Dolby Theater on America's Got Talent. It was a mess. It was hysterical, really. But all those things I got when you're at the convention center with 5,000 other people auditioning, and then they're auditioning across. I would sit there with the other people going, not like, oh gosh, I hope that person burns their chicken. Oh, I hope she breaks her leg. Oh, they don't look as good. I would be opposite. I'd be going, yes, you look great. You're going to do fabulous. All that good energy I'd put out. Oh my gosh, I hope you get it. It has to be sincere, but everything that I put out just flipped right back to me. So now I get the spotlight. It works.
That is awesome. That is really awesome.
That really is. It's
I'm very
awesome,
impressed.
awesome
really
way
cool.
to live.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is.
I
And
forgot that you were on America's Got Talent. I remember seeing you on there. Now that you say that, we watched that show.
Yeah, it was
regularly.
a mess. The next thing I know, really, because I knew it, because I'm funny, I can be funny, and I just knew that they wanted it to be a nice crash and burn because I'm not that, and I love that. I mean, I was kind of a crash and burn on Master Chef. I was kind of crash and burn on all of it, and I love that. But because the producer, you're backstage and the thing, and I've got my magic basket, and the producer's like, when you get on stage, make sure you get down to the dog's level. It's like, oh, okay. And I'll make sure you get Howie Mandel up on stage with you. Like, okay. Okay, now make sure you get Howie Mandel down at the dog's level with you. I'm like, okay, I get this. So next thing I know, the two of us are on our butt on the floor, wrapped up in a dog leash with this big, huge dog that's all attacking him in a friendly way. He knew the dog was his kid's dog. And I'm trying to help him up. I'm laughing, but you can't touch Howie Mandel because he's got that germ.
Yeah.
It's like it was hysterical.
Wow.
That's
It was
hilarious.
fun. Yeah.
You have a very like innocent, like a little girl charm that's still in you. You can see in your face.
Thanks. People are great. Life is great. I mean, we are so flawed. Humans are ridiculously flawed, but we are these divine creatures. We're divine creatures and we have free will. My God, we should be able to do anything.
Yeah.
And I believe we can.
That's awesome. Can you explain why Magick has a K in it sometimes and sometimes it doesn't?
Yes, Magick with a K. I think, I don't remember if it was Gerald Gardner or Alec Crowley. I wanted to explain the difference between magic pulling a rabbit out of a hat, magic, doing a card trick, and the kind of magic where you are moving energy and creating spells or doing magical things. So, back maybe in the 40s or 50s, they put a K to determine this is not a trick. We're not pulling a rabbit out of a hat. It's not illusion. This is real shift that we're doing. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, you're the type of person I would assume that have a lot of opinions and experiences with this, with nightmares. I deal with a lot of like exhausting dreams. Like the last year, it seems like it's gotten a lot worse. When I wake up, I feel like I just lived a lifetime of whatever the hell the scenario was in my dream. Do you experience that kind of stuff too? And you have any advice on how I can control that or navigate through it?
A million ways for you to control it. A million ways.
Awesome.
Yes. And I really had crazy dream life because dreams sometimes are just dreams. Sometimes they're just brain download. Sometimes they're psychological. Sometimes they're real. Sometimes they're all sorts of different things. But one technique that I do is if you put a glass of water, preferably a glass of water by the side of your bed and charge it. Water is a conduit. We know that our bodies are almost 60% water. Our planet's almost 70% water. Water is a conduit. My main technique I do is I call it dream school. If you want to control your dreams or something specific, put that glass water out and just say, okay, whether you're talking to God or your guides or your higher self or whatever it is the universe you're talking to, here's a glass of water. I want to dream about my next vacation. I want to talk to my spirit guides. I want to know what outfit to wear, mundane. Show me what I need to know. What you are doing, you are giving God, the universe, higher, whatever, permission to download you while you're asleep and that chatty left brain doesn't get in the way. Because to go into your intuitive place, your psychic place, your spiritual place, your artist place, you have to kind of shut down that left reasoning, rational, logical brain so that the intuitive, creative, artist side, spiritual side can take over. And you can do that when you're asleep and it'll come down in dreams or even downloads. So whatever you do, you go to bed, you go to sleep, you might have a great dream life right away. You might not, you might be able to direct it. You could even get into lucid dreaming. In the morning, if you have a set time you want to wake up, set your alarm for 10 minutes before. This is even in my book. Set your alarm for 10 minutes before. When that first alarm goes off, instead of going, oh, I have to get up. No, I don't. I have 10 seconds, 10 minutes. Hit the snooze button. Ask a question, whoever you're asking. Answer me this, or give me clarity, focus, and direction for today. Go back to sleep because you're still in a different brainwave state. In 10 minutes, when your real alarm goes off, you'll have clarity, focus, and direction. Grab a pencil, just commit 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, not like the artist way where you have to write a bunch of stuff. 2 minutes and just write down whatever comes out. If you had a dream, great. If you don't remember a dream, great. Any emotions, don't censor yourself. This is stupid. Patty doesn't know what she's talking about. You will be surprised what comes out of you and then what sticks with you. Then you throw out the water. Don't ever drink water right by your bed, open water. Everybody does, but you notice how bad it tastes in the morning?
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I still do it. I
grosses
wake up
me out.
and
Don't do it.
whatever I didn't
Don't
drink
do
the night
it.
before I
I mean-
finish it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
I'm
If
not
you
too
have-
far from Howie Mandel with germs.
Okay. It's not just germs. You're going to get emotions and ghosts and spirits and
Holy crap.
things and elementals. So your dream water is great. And then we're going to get into bad dream water in a minute. But if you have to drink water by your bed, put it a little further away and seal it. Make sure it's in a bottle that's sealed, or put a plate, plate over your glass so it's not open. Because that's why it tastes bad, because it's got all sorts of stuff in it. You're not going to die from it, but it's not good. They've done all these
Yeah.
testing on water.
I-
But for bad dreams, put a different glass of water, whether or not you're doing the dream school, and just send everything that it works for either insomnia, everything keeps you awake into that water, or everything that's bad dreams. Just like, a dream catcher, like Native American dream catchers, people
Mhm.
put over their bed to catch bad dreams. But water works because it's attached to the emotion. It's the water element. So that will do it for you. If you think you are having any real bad experiences, like you think spirits are coming in or ghosts are coming in, the favorite protection, this sign, this sigil, it's Norwegian, it's Icelandic. This is the most protective sign or sigil I have ever worked with. And when I go into like the scariest places on the planet with the crew, I always have a little necklace with this on it. But it just energy goes in and breaks it up. It's a rune form. It's kind of like sacred geometry, not my particular drawing of it. I just drew this for somebody. But energy goes in and kind of blows up, and it'll just blow up. I have one under my welcome mat at my home. It keeps out burglars and bad ghosts.
Wow.
So a
I
cascarilla
gotta get
powder,
one of those.
eggshell keeps it out.
So
If
what's
you
it
really
called?
think you have, it's called Helm of Awe, HELMOFAWE, Helm of Awe.
Helm
It's a
of Awe.
protection symbol. You could draw it in 2 seconds if you have an active mirror, because mirrors are portals. I use that foamy Windex and then draw with my finger and wipe it off, or you could put it on a Post-it on the back of the mirror or a sign. It shuts down active mirrors. And if you really have some, stuff coming in while you're asleep, put a raw egg on a saucer of salt, because any real bad energy coming in, not just dreams, but if any spirits or whatever coming through, they'll always go to the most innocent. That's why you have to be careful with kids and pets. It'll go into the egg though, and then in a few days you just toss the egg.
Damn.
Lots of ways to get rid of bad dreams.
A wave of interesting information.
Yeah.
This is
You could play 100 questions.
It's like,
with you.
I don't know. I'm thinking of it like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. But on the other side of me, I'm thinking that's absolutely bizarre.
Bizarre things make sense all the time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I have a situation that I feel like, I don't know if it's a bloodline thing or what, but I have like a demon that's been with me since I was a kid that I don't know if it's a shadow figure or what, but it's definitely not a nice entity.
Okay.
And I remember as maybe a early teenager, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but I was laying in bed and this man looking figure that was like ash and just shadow kind of just hovered right through my window. I had one of those long windows where it's like 3 feet off the ground and then like 6 or 7 feet tall. He kind of just hovered right through the thing, and his eyes were kind of glowing like lava almost. Like it's just strange looking. And he stared at me for a minute, and then he just kind of faded right back out. And that's the only visual I've ever had of him. But man, I just have this feeling that something's with me always.
Well, it probably is. Thankfully, is probably not a demon. I think demons get way too much credit, even on TV, everything. It's like, I think 90% of things that people think are demons are just cranky ghosts or dark ghosts or bad ghosts or mean ghosts or spirits or elementals or a lot of things out there. I think a demon, you would know a demon because you wouldn't even be sitting here like this. You'd be in a crazy house or really sick.
Really? That makes me feel better.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might have a cranky ass ghost. You probably have a cranky ass ghost, something family line. And whether it came with the bloodline or family line, we also create these all the time, situations, arguing, like poltergeist, how teens so often at that age, you call in all this stuff. Those are created ghosts. It's not by angst, by energy. So it could be something like that. But number one, remember, this is our realm of existence. If it comes in, if anything comes in, that first gut reaction, other than there's something at my door, if it feels okay, talk to it. Who are you? What are you? Are you a spirit guide? Are you an angel? Are you a fairy? Are you a tree spirit? Are you Uncle Bob? And if it feels bad, go get out. You are not welcome here. In the name of God, in the name of your angels, in the name of whatever you believe in the name of your cat, because this is our realm. Don't do it with anger, because anger wants you to get angry. If it's a dark spirit, don't do it with fear. It wants you to get fearful. Do it like a parent. Do it like a teacher. Nope. My house, my body, my bed, my room, my kid, you are not welcome here. I command you to leave in the name of whatever you believe in. And guess what? They go away.
Well,
Wow.
that makes a lot of sense. That backs up a lot of the things my father has said too, for
Yeah.
advice. The horrible thing about it is, I don't think I've told many people this at all, and I'm about to say it on a podcast. It's pretty embarrassing. When I was a kid, I had a lot of problems. My oldest brother was murdered in 1992 when I was about 6 or 7. And I think that kind of spun me downward mentally and faithfully, spiritually. I used to pray to a made up God that I made up in my head that was pretty evil. It was not a good thing. And I talked to it like multiple times a day. And I used to curse like the traditional God, Jesus Christ, and everything in my head as a kid too, a little kid. Like I had a lot of shit in my head that was just dark and inappropriate. But I feel like I brought this shit on me, or I welcomed him, whatever this
Right.
cranky spirit is, or whatever.
You probably created it. It's called an egregore. It's called a servitor. It's called a golem in Hebrew. You probably created it.
Damn.
And that's okay. You can uncreate it as much as you can create it.
Really?
So don't be mad at your little kid. Little kid do things like that. You're fine. You're not burning in hell. You're not doing anything like that. And you can choose to let go of that demon that you needed for some reason at the time. Or demon.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard.
And you
this
need a
story before.
dragon.
Yeah.
You'll see it
I
in
don't
the
share
book.
that with many people. It's pretty embarrassing and
Okay,
it's
well,
weird.
It's not. Kids, I mean, kids are kids. We experience all this stuff. That's why I get into stuff a lot that people are embarrassed by and don't talk about, even like spectrophilia and stuff, because people do experience it and then they think they're crazy or they're embarrassed or they're whatever. So you need a dragon.
A dragon?
You'll see in the book. Yeah. See, created spirits. We create spirits all the time, like Rug Buddha Belly and the lucky cat in the Chinese store. The lucky, your money tree or this, the lucky thing. And if you create a dragon spirit, dragons live at the crossroads. They can fly between heaven and earth. They live at the crossroads of change. Like angels are great, whatever your belief systems, but they're dextral. Angels, they're way up here. They don't have a central side. They have only dextral. They can do two things: enlighten and protect. Two good things: enlighten and protect. But they can't cause change or shift. If you get down to the fairy realm, they bring music, laughter, and things like that. But dragons, they've been around forever. Chinese dragon, medieval dragon, they are the agents of change. So you create one, you breathe life into it, you feed it every day. I usually open the lid off a little bottle, and mine needs whiskey. But so if you don't drink, you give your dragon water. They drink really fast when they're working really hard. And since I've been teaching people dragon magic, again, it's a spirit you're creating, not necessarily a little toy piece of whatever from China, but the spirit. One stopped an abusive relationship. One, I'm an LA girl. The LA Dodgers 2 years ago, they won. They won like 20, I'm making up the numbers, 20 games in a row. And then Sports Illustrated magazine did a special on them. They said, Dodgers, best team ever, put them on the cover. they tanked. They lost like 20 games in a row. And all these sports dudes, not anybody who'd see a medium or a witch, all these sports dudes were like, it's the curse. It's the Sports Illustrated curse. Oh, the poor Dodgers. So they called me in, and we did my Lebanon crossing spell that can get rid of your whatever too. They did the Lebanon crossing spell, gave them a little blue dragon. They have a blue dragon. They won that year. They got up to the playoffs. This year they won the World Series because they have a dragon. And my most mad, I can't tell you, and I can't tell you because I signed non-disclosure, how many A-list movie stars and sports people and have little toy dragons next to their bed or by their computer or on their table. My most amazing one is this girl. If you travel, you could leave it home and say, you're not going to eat this week. It's okay. Or you could take it with you and to anybody else. It's your kid's toy. But she left her dragon at home and she said, take care of my husband, kids at home, take care of me and my girlfriends. And this girls' Vegas weekend, they were there, big concert. First day of the concert was great. Second day of the concert, she grabbed her two girlfriends and she said, my dragon said we have to leave. And girlfriends are like, you're crazy. We're not leaving. What we paid for these tickets and whoever is on stage, and your kids have dragons, not you. She dragged them out. Moments later, that massacre started right where they were standing.
Wow.
And she said, my dragon had a voice. It said, leave now. And she drug them out. It's an energy, just like, again, we create spirits all the time. The spirit of success, the spirit of failure, the spirit of love, the spirit of lonely. Spirit is just a way of being. Get a dragon.
Dang.
Does it matter what kind of dragon I get?
Oh,
It's
funny. It cracks me up to buy these really cheap ones on Amazon. I have one fancy one. It's an all carved crystal. A lot of people do really nice little statues of dragons. It just, but it can't be just like a tattoo or a picture because you got to feed them. I buy little like dollhouse furniture, chalices. Some of them look like Game of Thrones. They look like metal with little stones in them. Some just are plastic that look like a wine glass. They will drink way faster when they're working harder. Every day you have to talk to them. You can't be just, they're not a spirit guide. They're not God. They just bring me whatever. You have to tell them what to do. And a skeptic will, of course, say evaporation. But I had 3 dragons, the exact same containers and the exact same liquid. One drank it in an hour, one drank it in a day, and one drank it in a week. Evaporation doesn't work like that.
Dang.
what? Dude, I'm excited to get a dragon now.
Yeah.
Get a dragon.
You said it's not a tattoo, right? It has to be a figurine.
It has to be. So we have to see people, big ones, little ones. It has to be a figurine so you could feed it.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting a dragon as soon as we get
Yeah,
off this
get a dragon. You'll see,
podcast.
like the lid off anything. Like this is a little lid off a bottle of something. I would stick that under. Mine drinks whiskey. But again, if anybody has a drinking issue or doesn't drink, give them water, give them apple juice. The dragon will eventually let you know what it wants. Boop, boop, boop.
Dang. This is interesting.
This is crazy. I love it.
It does sound bizarre, but I want to try it. Hey, if it'll make positive change.
Yeah.
It makes
that sounds like
positive
a
change.
small
Don't use it on
step.
anybody, just like magic, just like spell working. Don't send it to get anybody. You only work your world, your life, your change. You don't control others. You control your world.
I really like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what about the bad witches? You ever like come across one in the street and shit goes down?
Oh, sure. I mean, and again, what I noticed, because they think, oh, we have the power and we're going to use the dark side power. But why are they getting uglier and crankier? I mean, ugly from the inside as life goes on, and jaded and this. And then there's the witch wars, and then you curse you and you curse you and protections. It's like, nah. And I still think light's dark no matter what. You bring a candle into a dark room, a candle room with a bunch of scary things. You bring candle and you bring in light. Yeah, you see those scary shadows moving around, but you're in the light.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
You're awesome, Patty. I like you.
I drink water.
I'm kind of curious. Where do you think is like the what would you call like the magic capital like of the world? Where would you go to be like at the epicenter
wow.
of?
What a great question. Every place has an energy, super energy. Like Greece, you feel my God, civilization started in this area. You feel the intelligence. I've been to Australia where they have a different kind of magic. Los Angeles, where I live, Hollywood, I live literally under the Hollywood sign. There is these vortexes in literal like belly buttons of vortexes. They're not marked. All through the hills down from Hollywood to Malibu. every time this big one right by the Hollywood sign, halfway between Burbank and Hollywood, the entertainment capital, every time I've been to it, I would find lovers kissing, actors rehearsing, nuns reading the Bible. I think Hollywood is exactly where it is, not 50 miles this way or 50 miles that way, because of this vortex. It's in the right brain, the creative, the artists, the musicians, the actors, the writers, and the spiritual. I have a monastery next door, a theosophy, a self-realization, every Scientologist. Like a few block radius, there's like 10 sacred and holy places, from traditional churches to everything in between, amongst the movie studios. It's all that right brain stuff. It just draws them in.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
So most place, I don't know. I was just in Salem, and that was really great, doing a thing in Salem, because I wish I should have been to Salem, and that had its own magic, but not the most magical place in the world. I probably haven't been there yet. I'm getting ready. Once we get through the pandemic, I've got a couple trips to Europe. I'm doing a haunted castle, a Game of Thrones haunted castles of Ireland tour, and
Ooh, that's cool.
and then I'm going to Romania for Bram Stoker's 125th birthday, and doing Dracula's castle and all these other Dracula-esque castles. So those
Wow.
might be pretty magic.
Yeah. Oh man,
So,
that's an area right there that creeps me out.
yeah. And when you say things like with like Dracula and vampires and things like that, to me that feels like bad, like horror movie stuff, you know what I mean? Like scary,
Yeah.
like horror movie stuff. I don't see why you have I can't tie the interest there, I guess, between you and
Okay,
that
I will
stuff.
explain to you, because it took me a long time. Just like witches get a bad rap, and I'm so not into negative or worshiping a devil. I mean, eating babies, none of that. How people think witches are bad. Vampires really get a bad rap too. And again, there is bad ones, just like there's bad humans, there's bad nuns, there's bad. But I met Father Sebastian on Ghost Adventures on my first Halloween special, I think. I think I was locked in a gypsy cabin, and just Zach had me reading whatever's going on, like somebody on the floor, and he had gotten knocked out by Bela Lugosi's mirror. So we just became like, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, we're in the same world, sort of. And we became like social media friends, and he offered to fang me. And I'm like, intriguing, but I don't know. This kind of cute guy, but like, my idea of vampires isn't good, because whether or not you drink blood, which they don't, or he doesn't, that whole clan doesn't, but my idea of vampires, like psychic vampires who draw your energy, that friend you don't want to be around because they drain you. My idea of vampires was all not positive, but I studied up all his books. His magic is exactly like mine. His clan is Sabretooth Clan. They're worldwide. They do only good things. The energy they live off is life force. They don't drink blood. Their magic is exactly positive. We get together after a endless night ball all over the world. And we give to anti-bullying charities. We had a Vampire Con Vegas last year. We had the Red Cross band come. We gave blood. We don't drink blood. We gave blood. The magic is all peace on earth, and bring people together for whatever it is. Find the thing that you do. Yes, it is a little hedonistic, a little just grab life, but nothing evil, nothing negative. I started reading his books, The Black Veils. It's a lifestyle choice. It's kind of like, again, to me, your belief system is like a template. You could, whether I want to be a Baptist, I'm going to be a Catholic, I'm going to be a witch, I'm going to be a New Age woo-woo girl, I'm going to be a vampire. It's just how you dress it. It's a template. The words are slightly different when I go back all the way to my grandfather's time. So I'll just go witches. We dance around bonfires, and we wear like organic cotton or Stevie Nicks lacy cloaks, and vampires wear velvet cloaks and top hat and really nice fangs. I have a fabulous set of fangs. But it's all good. In Salem, we did a beautiful seance where we really lifted the veil. And then we did a Beltane ritual, which is that May Day, dance around the maple, where we're celebrating spring and new life and love and everything that is. It honestly, as good as you're going to get in anybody else's house of worship or church or belief system or park.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I dig it. So what's like the scariest situation you've had, or one of them
Okay.
with
I
supernatural?
think the scariest one, then I'll tell you the most painful. The scariest one is right in my neighborhood. There is this house. It was I live in like the oldest neighborhood in Hollywood, built in the 20s and 30s. My house was built in 1920. It's a little bungalow. There was the big movie star houses and little bungalows. This house right down the block was built by Charlie Chaplin for one of his girlfriends, Mary Astor. She was a silent movie star too, like him, and it was a party house, super party house in the 20s and 30s. And then the Rolling Stones manager bought it. The Rolling Stones lived there, moms and papas, Graham Parsons. The house draws all these creative people. And then he sold it. And then the person who invented a real life sex doll moved in, and he lived there. And then he moved out, and Marilyn Manson lived there. And he was my neighbor for 7 years. It got too scary for him, this house. Beautiful house. Looks like it was built by a mason or something, like sacred geometry, 4-level, windy staircase, everything spirits like and ghosts, leaded glass. Oh, there's exactly 12 windows. Like there's literally a compass. Magic always works off a compass in the wooden floor. It's like, so anyway, they were doing a documentary about this house. They called it the Mary Astor House. And we had 4 cameras, and I was doing a seance. I had pretty young people, like just hitting 20. Young people have this, between puberty until really, really just past 20, you have all this life. Even if you're on a paranormal investigation or you're doing whatever, that's when stuff happens. That's why kids create poltergeists. But I always say it's okay to be skeptic. Skeptics are great, but just be respectful. Be open and be respectful, because the only time you get in trouble is not being respectful. But this one kid, maybe because he was being on TV or being filmed, or maybe he was just that kind of guy, he just kept saying disrespectful things. So at first there was a cranky ghost, not a demon, but big in life, big in death. Henry the quiet, accountant in his cubicle is Henry the quiet ghost. Some big old movie star is in life is some big old movie star in death. And this was an old Hollywood cranky ghost. And he was not liking this smart aleck kid. So first cool things were happening, like the French doors flew open, like everybody's screaming. And I go, wow. And like it was a special effect, but we didn't have special effects, and I wouldn't allow that anyway. And they closed it and everybody's screaming. And I'm like, okay, keep it calm, keep it calm. And then it happened again. French doors flew open, everybody's screaming, and all this stuff is happening. I'm feeling the tension. I'm working with my guides and my guardians and my protectors to keep it down. He said something else. And then the speakers, old school speakers on the floor, like how big can your speakers get, came on this white noise, almost like a spirit box. This white noise. That happened twice. We looked later, they weren't even plugged in. But the tensions is building, We're working with the Ouija board. We're getting this really dark stuff that had happened in the dirt basement. It's always the dirt basement. In the dirt basement, this kid says something really stupid, and not him, but the cameraman facing him burst into flames. Spontaneous combustion, like Spinal Tap, like a big V up his back, like angel wings of fire. He was not standing in front of a fireplace. He was 2 cameras caught it. It was a 4-camera shoot. 2 cameras caught it. 1 camera just like hit the ceiling or hit the floor. I guess you test the ability of a cameraman by the room bursting into flames. Everybody's screaming. His camera, he's looking out. He's wondering why everybody is screaming and pointing at him as his back is on fire. And cool witch medium Patty becomes medic Patty, which I am. I'm an EMT. I'm like, drop and roll. I'm dropping and roll. I'm like, I'm calling in my guardians and my wards that I had set up. Like, we are done. I'm shutting the veil. Nobody burst into flames on my watch. This is not okay. So I'm shutting it down. But the guy who got on fire, total skeptic, non-believer, he was like inspired, like, no, I'm okay. As I'm watching the blistering on his back, no, I'm okay. His shirt burnt off him like poof, and it shouldn't have. It was cotton. It should not have gone like a polyester or nylon went poof. And I'm watching. He goes, oh no, I'm fine. I have a sweater. I'll take it off. Please continue. So I talked to the spirit, and I'm like, we're not even going to get rid of you. We're not even trying to hurt you. So the spirit kind of agreed to be kind of okay. the kid got really well behaved. I knew he was not going to
Yeah.
be a problem at all. He became the choir boy in the corner. Everybody's freaking out. And we finished the seance. A few more things happened, like a glass. I'm one of the best paranormal until the thing I did with TFIL a couple of weeks ago. Ever glass flew out of the cupboard, nobody within 15 feet, tried to push him off the curb. But the coolest thing, and how this really did happen, is the cameraman who caught on fire, 3 weeks later, he goes, Patty, look at my back. And I looked at the small of his back, and it looked like he had got a tattoo of a dragon.
Really?
Open mouth, sharp teeth, winged head, into the shape of a serpent. That is the exact energy I called in to shut down the seance. I work dragon magic. I'm like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp of a dragon on your back. That is about the coolest thing in the history of the world. And he thought so too. he was inspired from the time it happened. He's a writer, he's a movie maker. He haven't done it yet, but he wrote a horror script about a Hollywood psychic, a TV psychic who does all the TV shows, basically about me. But then she's just doing another reality show, but then a portal opens, and then all hell breaks loose, and it turns into a thing. And he wrote with Stephen Norrington, the guy who wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and the Blade vampire series. I hope they do it. But I sat down with him for like 5 hours, and I'm like, oh, Lauren, you can't say that in a movie. He's like, but you said that. I go, I know I said that. That opens a portal. That does something. You don't want to be one of those cursed horror films, do you? Where all the actors die in 5 years?
Yeah.
No, let's give some words that don't mean anything. The audience won't know. It'll be great, and it'll be a fun horror film. So if they do it, it'll be a fine horror film, because I took everything. Because spirits don't know the difference of this is a movie, this is reality.
Yeah.
If you're doing things, that's what happens.
Like Beetlejuice, you just say it 3 times and he's out. It don't matter who says it or what.
Man, that is crazy. You burst into flames on his back like that.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
and the
weird.
guy he was even doing anything bad, It was the other kid.
No, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
Like a warning to the young guy.
The warning, young guy. And again, if there's a bigger picture of things, it was inspiration to the cameraman, and now he has a great story and a cool almost tattoo scar.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I want that scar. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Mortal Kombat. There you go.
Yeah. So that was the scariest. And I think the most painful one is Black Dahlia, Black Dahlia murders. And there's the house where the doctor lived. It happened. I've done a couple things there. One was a long time ago TV show, not a paranormal show, so they didn't understand why the batteries would drain and stuff. And then we did a Ghost Adventures there. And I channeled him. I know this doctor did it. We actually, during Ghost Adventures, we crossed over one of the girls. You never got to see it on TV, because TV doesn't want to show that stuff. They just want to show the scary stuff, but that's okay. We did. But I was doing at my own house. My house, this house where I am now, is really warded. It's really protected, but I broke my own rules. I was being lazy. My producer was over. We were going to do this kind of a crime seance. I had a Associated Press, like the most famous woman at AP, Associated Press reporter, Linda Deutsch there. And we were going to do this thing on the Black Dahlia. We pulled out the Ouija board, because we do it all the time. She had a friend she talks to. I didn't do my protections. I didn't do my little open up who's allowed in. And where she thought she was talking to her friend, I was standing behind my dining room chair, not even sitting down. And I got pushed so hard in chair. I heard this crack, 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 right above my ribs. I thought I broke my ribs. Nobody was behind me. I'm sliding down to the floor, and she's going, are you all right? Are you all right? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I always say I'm all right. I could have my arm cut off going, it's a flesh wound, I'm okay. I'm like, no, I had to go to urgent care, and he didn't break my ribs, but he ripped all the cartilage off my ribs, off my floating ribs. It was worse.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Black Dahlia killer did that in my house. Dang him. So that was a painful one.
I bet. Holy shit.
So, that's it's like one of those things that there's you can't just go playing with the Ouija board. I've always thought that. I've never messed with it, because I just had this weird feeling, even when I was young, just don't mess with that stuff. You're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids still play with it and things like that. And I feel like you're just I don't know. You go looking for trouble, you're gonna find it, and I don't.
Well,
None of that.
you just have to know how to use it. To me, it's like a gun. You would have to know how to use it.
Mhm.
I'm not for or against guns, but it's the same thing. I don't think they should be sold in toy stores. I think they should have a completely opposite set of directions. Not this is a game. This is not a game. Adults only, and you are opening a portal. Here's an easy instructions of way to do it. That you be careful who you let in. You don't just say anybody out there. You don't let anybody in your front door, do you? The crazy guy down the street, the homeless guy,
That's a great point.
the drunk. You with this Ouija board, the same. You open it up, you close it up, you set your protectors in whatever belief system, religion, philosophy you work within, and you're fine.
That's so crazy, and that's the spirit world scares the hell out of me. I'd rather believe it's not real and just go through life like that versus
okay, that's it, not real.
yeah. And I've seen a ghost before one time, and I shared the story, but I know it was real, and it was a long time ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. So I there's part of me that believes.
Yeah,
Part of me
you
that
probably
believes.
believe more than I do. That's why it scares you so much.
It does scare me because I know there's real scary stuff out there, man.
Yeah, there is. You make it seem a lot more I don't know, like easier to digest.
Like it's fun almost.
yeah, it's fun
But-
and
Yeah,
all your rules and like the code system, it just makes it all a lot more, I don't know, a lot less threatening. I like it.
it is. And the veil is getting thinner all the time, you guys. We're moving to this age of Aquarius they sang about in the 60s, which instead of it being an earth-based, black and white, or parents, grandparents, world of solid ground, yes and no, it's air-based. It's like this. So the veil between our world and that. So more and more unexplainable or paranormal or whatever you want to call it stuff is happening, but science and spirituality are coming together like this all the time. That's what quantum physics are. It's all coming down to the numbers anyway, whether you call it God, ghosts, science, whatever. But more and more stuff is going to happen because we're going into a new age. So people should just know it's not hard to figure out how to be safe. It's not hard to know that you're in control. You just have to do it.
Yeah. I have a really off the wall question for you, and I don't really know how to interpret this, but
I'm excited.
with with all the craziness that's been going on in the news and in the world and things like that, with like the pedophilia stuff and just like these like celebrities doing these evil seances for immortality or whatever it is to become rich with the Illuminati and all that, do you think that it's going to just consume the world at one point? It's going to be like Constantine, where you're fighting ghosts with guns, and I don't know. It's just going.
No, the celebrity thing cracks me up because I know a lot of celebrities. I live in a celebrity neighborhood. I don't know any celebrity who's done evil seances or eaten babies or Tom Hanks. That is so
That's all
far
BS.
from the truth. I mean, not saying bad people don't exist. They do. But as a rule, you work to somebody to get to celebrity, especially some of the people that are accused of it, just cracks me up. It's like, oh my God, they are the most moral, honest, virtuous, in integrity people. What is this, like kind of like a misredirection game by somebody or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, because it's Hollywood. Honestly, you have to give up so much to be in this town. You have to it is hard. You have rejection. You have to work 10 times harder. It doesn't look like it. You can't look like it. If it looks like it, then you're not going to make it. And to think that somebody's going to throw it away to do evil seances, or that's goofy. There is a dark side. And again, a lot of people aren't going to like this new world. A lot of people are leaving. I thought a lot of people, there is evil. Hell yes, there's evil. There's light exists, dark exists. I think the pandemic was a wake-up call by God, the universe, whatever. It's like, you guys better wake up. There's shit going on. You guys better wake up. We're asleep wheel. We talk about zombies. We kind of became zombies. We use the terminology, asleep at the wheel, phoned in, automatic pilot, by rote, blah, blah, blah. It's like, wake up, probably threw a little water at us, didn't wake up, shook us hard, didn't wake up. We had to get hit on the head by a 2x4 and then stay in your room, stay in your house for a whole year and think about it. Think, what is important? What is life about? Is it stuff? Is it this, or is it going inside? And some people get, some people won't.
That's interesting.
I think light is going to win. I think the next big thing is going to be aliens. So there you go.
And that it kind of does make me happy to hear you say that about a lot of celebrities, because there is sometimes I go way too deep into this conspiracy world and I read all this stuff and I hear all
Yeah.
these things and I'm like, wow, I freaking hate these people. But then at the same time, it's like that's pretty far fetched. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
wild, and I feel like I'm going down a dark path
okay.
just thinking about that stuff.
You guys are both intuitive. I could tell
Mhm.
you guys are both intuitive. You dance nicely between your left logical brain and your right intuitive brain. Trust your first gut feeling, not anything you read, not with everything in life, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it's spirituality, whether it's Illuminati, whether it's conspiracy theories. We somehow along the way lost what animals have as instinct, and we had intuition. That's what even my book is about, getting it back. Follow moon cycles, get in touch with who you are. If
Mhm.
something seems a little weird, it probably is something a little weird. And remember, anything that's so fear-based or control-based, that is usually done by man just to control other men. I mean, religions do it, politics do it. So if if they're trying to lead you with fear, if they're trying to lead you with control, look at the person who's trying to do that, not the person they're talking about.
Mhm. That's a good point.
That's
That
very
is a really
interesting.
good point. And like you said, like I just want to hear everybody's side of everything. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me
Oh
hear,
yeah,
and then I'll
me
decide what
too.
I believe. But I just want to hear everybody's. I just like to talk to people
Yeah,
and hear their stories.
yeah.
I wish I could absorb like all knowledge, just every story, every thought. I want to absorb it all.
I would need a nap after that.
I mean, yeah, it is
I
exhausting.
need
It does
a
get
lot. I know,
exhausting.
but you do. You take it in, and then you find your truth.
Hmm.
Your truth. And so long as you don't hurt anybody else. And again, Hollywood celebrities, they're the last ones who want to hurt anybody else because they work too damn hard to get there.
Yeah, that's a good thought. That's yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, we'll end it on that positive note. We're going to jump into the 6 questions and we'll cut you
okay.
loose, Patty.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on our show
Yeah,
and taking all this
absolutely. We
time with
appreciate it
us.
a lot. Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
You
want
guys
to
are
have you
great.
back
You're
on.
great hosts. I had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you. Number one, if you could have the power to create one law, which law would you create?
Be kind.
A law to everyone has to be kind to each other.
Mhm.
My mom would agree with that one.
Yeah, yeah, that would be an awesome law.
Yeah.
It's
Everything would
another
be a
law.
lot
You were
smoother.
not nice. Go sit in the room.
Yeah. Put people in timeout, huh?
Yeah.
Number two, what 3 words would you choose to describe yourself?
Optimist, enthusiastic, curious.
Yeah, those are
Perfect.
all good.
Absolutely.
Number 3, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as someone who brought inspiration, who inspired people.
Well, you definitely
I
did
don't
that
want
tonight.
nobody has to believe what I believe, but I want them to be inspired to know how amazing they are, whatever they believe.
Yeah, I admire that about you. That's really cool. Number 4, what is something you like that most people don't know about you?
That I like. Wow. Everybody knows everything about me. That's really, I'm such an open book. What does somebody not know that I like?
You have any strange hobbies or interests in movies or music or
Oh, well,
coin
but see,
collector?
people probably know this too. I'm a wiener wrangler. Wiener dogs.
What?
Sorry,
What?
that's for the Patreon.
No, wait, where is she? Oh, she's gone. I have a
Talking about
9-week-old
dogs or hot
pup
dogs?
somewhere here. But no,
Dog breed?
I've been involved in the raising wieners for a long time, and I guess most people don't really know that I'm out, in the middle of nowhere, Texas, with surrounded by 200 wiener dogs, having them, run at halftime of a B League baseball game or something. It's funny, and they're funny. They don't really race. They go in circles. They sniff each other's butts. They have a party. They're a good
Yeah.
time.
What draws you
So
to that breed of dog?
working with the ad agency, because my production company, we specialized in interactive stuff. The ad agency that called me, I ran the Wiener Schnitzel, which is a hot dog chain, West Coast. I don't know if you got them in Colorado, a hot dog chain of fast food, and they sponsored wiener dog races. They were sponsored by a beer commercial, like put together drag racing and wiener dogs, and they went, "What a great idea!" So I was running these races and going, "These are the smartest, funniest, stubbornest, cutest dogs I've ever seen. I must have one." And then I have one, and my girl passed last year. She's a star. She was in every racing dog movie. She did a lot of television, did a lot of film. Even when she was 13, she did a TV show with Mike Tyson, and they made it on a cover of a magazine, and she was like nibbling on his ear, and she drug him around stage. It was just like, that's Mike Tyson. And my little short, fat, fluffy wiener dog is putting him in his place. He was really cute.
Funny. What was
and so
name?
now I have a new 9-week-old puppy.
Oh, cool. What was the?
Yeah, what was that?
What was the other one's name? The one that was
her name was
like,
Dora. You could look up Dora Negri. She has an IMDb page, the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
Not a lot of it's on there, but if you search her or search my name with her, you'll see the Mike Tyson cover and a bunch of TV shows. I have videos of her on a couple TV shows on my YouTube page. And my new one, I've had her 1 week. 4 days in Hollywood. She made it on Getty Images. She made it one of those celebrity sightings in front of Amoeba Music with me carrying my dog. But the photographer, we put on a Hollywood star, so she even has her own Getty Images. I mean, some people work their whole life and don't get on Getty. It's like, that's cool. My 4-day-old.
What's the puppy's name?
Willow.
Willow.
Hair, black and tan, wiener dog.
Awesome.
Even the dogs are successful.
I thought she was here, but she's not here.
Yeah. Even the dogs got power.
You'll see her. She's everywhere.
All right. Last two questions.
But now I'm just trying to potty train her.
Yeah. We just got done with our puppy with that too. It's nice. She rings the doorbell. Not the doorbell. She rings literally a bell in the back door when she has to go out.
Really? So nice. Yeah. How'd you do that?
It's not that hard. If you take them out like the same way every time to go to the restroom, like if you have a back door or whatever backyard you have, you put like a jingly and noisy bell where they're going to do it at and make them ring it before you let them out. They get a routine with it, and then they kind of use that as like a demanding thing, like, hey, I want to go outside. Ring the hell out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, my cat even does it now too. Asher does it.
Asher does it. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Maine Coon cat thinks he's a dog, and he rings it all the time too. He likes his backyard time.
They're smart.
Yeah, we didn't put a whole lot into it, and she picked it up pretty quick.
That is awesome.
Number
See, you're
5.
a witch.
What's that?
See, you're a witch.
You heard her, JP. I'm a witch. Watch yourself. Number 5, if you could have any superpower, which is strange asking a witch this, which would you choose and why?
I mean, I really want to say to eat all the chocolate I want without any ill effects, but I won't. But that would be it. I think that. Flying.
Would you do it with the broom?
Yeah, of course.
Just for fun. Might as well.
It's okay because I show up with my broom everywhere. And a witch's broom is called a besom. We don't really fly through the sky. We fly through the ethers. We fly into the veil. It's about traveling other worlds. But I show up. I look like Bad Mary Poppins. Like if I'm doing a house clearing or something, 2 big monster baskets of herbs and oils and my broom in my hand, and people are like, who's showing up at that lady's house? And then I'm at like, clearing the Phil Spector murder castle, or, it's like,
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, flying though, that would be fun. And LA traffic sucks. So if I could just fly somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I bet that would be pretty awesome. Last one, number 6. If you could know the absolute truth on one conspiracy theory, which would you choose?
Area 51.
Yeah,
good choice.
Yeah,
that has always interested me as well, because it's like there's aliens, and then there's like also like interdimensional beings and things like that, and there's a lot more to it than just people just think alien grays. They just think grays and that's it. There's just those aliens.
No,
way more than that.
Way more. I'm more intrigued by the whole Anunnaki thing, the Nephilim, going way back to ancient Sumeria, because I did 2 of those seances, and it wasn't ghosts that came to my seance. I had one of my mentors spoke 21 languages, most of them ancient, like Sumerian. So he gave me these words to say and the symbol sigils, because again, everybody works with sigils. And it was like, you're not a ghost.
Oh,
Whoa.
my goodness. Oh, you just got
That's-
me pumped. Did he hand you a pine cone? Tell me he handed you a pine cone.
That's exciting.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're really big on the Anunnaki
I
and
love it.
ancient history stuff.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
Yeah.
topic.
It makes sense. He wrote lots of books, Maximilian de Lafayette. And it was kind of crazy, everything that happened. So it would be scary to think we were the only beings in the universe, in this endless universe.
Have you ever
So-
been to that Sumerian area, Iran, Iraq area type Middle East? Have you been there?
No, I haven't. The closest I've been, I would definitely like to get there. The closest I've been is Greece. Come here, baby.
I think
Wait,
you
wait.
would. I think you should go there. I think you would love it. Honestly, I think it would speak to you.
Yeah, we'll start a GoFundMe to get you.
Oh, she's super cute. Look at her.
That's adorable.
There's Willow.
If you're just listening to the podcast, you have to go look on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're just listening, you can't see. I'm holding up the world's cutest dog. Well,
Absolutely.
in-
It's like a
in the
stuffed
camera.
animal.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look
she's
real.
very tiny.
That's awesome.
Super
Yeah, she
cool
hasn't even
stuff.
hit 4 pounds yet.
Wow.
Wow, that is neat.
Well, Patti, thank you so much for coming on. We'd love to have you back on sometime.
I would
where
love
can
to.
our
Then I can give you the
listeners-
alien stories.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
there-
we have
I
a
still
lot to get into.
Millions of questions.
Yeah, we have a lot to get into with you. Where can our listeners find you and support you?
PattiNegri.com, PattiNegri.com. Like me, follow me, Instagram, it's Patti.Negri, at Patti Negri Twitter, Patti Negri Psychic Medium on Facebook. And because I've been getting fake ones, it's like, really, but so that one's verified, the others aren't. And whatever. And I have a podcast too called The Witching Hour on all the usual places, Spotify, Podbean, Apple, The Witching Hour.
The Witching
Yeah.
Hour. I got to subscribe to that. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I'm going
Way
to
ahead
be
of you.
listening.
I'm way ahead of you on this one.
You got it?
Oh yeah.
You son of a. No, I'm just kidding. Your mom's great. I can't say that. That's awesome, Patti. Well, I'm going to be listening to the podcast. JP probably won't. I'm going to read the book. JP probably won't. I'm a
Come on.
witch. JP's not.
That's right.
yeah. No, we love
You
you,
guys
Patti.
are funny.
Thank you
Thank you
so much
so
for
much.
coming on. We'll do it again.
Thanks.
Have a
It's
great
a
one.
deal.
Bye.
Bye.